They didn't have to do it, you know? Guy didn't have to do it. Nobody had to do it. I think when I think about this, I'm just really taken aback by it all. I'm really kind of just shocked. I'm shocked, but I'm not surprised, is what I'll say. When I was thinking about it, I was just kind of, man. When I heard the news that he was shot, it was at the end of the day, and by the time I got to the car, I saw that that he had been shot, and that at that point he was already gone. And you know, it's so strange to feel such loss for someone that I didn't really know that well. I'm trying to think, like I maybe watched maybe one or two videos a while ago, and I vaguely knew who he was, right? But I wasn't like deeply in tune with what he was saying. And I think I actually disagree with him on a few things too. So, you know, I was just thinking about it, like a death has a way of really sobering your mind. It really has a way of just dramatically shifting your whole perspective. And it really makes you see what's important. And everything else, all of the deep found emotions that you have in the moment seem to just melt away, and what you're left with is like the most important things. And I think when I saw this, I was just thinking like, man, he's got kids. You know, like it'd be different if it was just some random guy, single, alone. It didn't need to happen, man. It didn't need to happen. And then you have, I think the worst part about all of this is like, it was one thing to learn that he had died. I wasn't surprised though, because it's like, this happened last year, right? July 13th. Everybody knows what happened that day. And seeing, you know, the firebombing of like all the Tesla dealerships, and I'm seeing all the really violent, hateful rhetoric being spoken, and seeing this, it's like, that is not surprising. That is a natural progression of what's been going on for the last 5, even 10 years when you think about it. And I think the worst part about all of it, though, was like, I always knew that there was a small minority of people that were that way, that believed that way. But I think what really disturbed me was seeing how many people actually condoned it and thought that it was acceptable, including people in my own audience who I think have since unsubscribed, which I'm going to go ahead and make this declaration because genuinely I don't care. If you're somebody that thought that this guy was some evil person that deserved it, you have no idea what you're talking about. Go watch his videos. Go and see what he actually had to say. If you still feel that way, unsubscribe, because that's insane to say that somebody deserved death, that they deserved this. That is unacceptable. You can say, hey, I disagreed with him, shouldn't have happened. That was all that had to be said. That was all that had to be said. And what I truly realized after watching all of his videos was the realization I'm about 85%, maybe 90% the same beliefs. So if that's how somebody feels about that guy, that's how they feel about me. Really talking off the cuff here, but I'm just like processing this as I'm going, because I'm just thinking about it. It's like, this is really kind of connected. And no, I'm not a schizoid. I'm just thinking about it like, sitting here thinking about what happened in the last 5 years and how the vaccines were forced on everybody and how they were desperately trying to get people to take them and they were harassing people and discriminating against people. I'm kind of just realizing like that was intentional, wasn't it? That was intentional. That wasn't an accident. That wasn't them just trying to do the right thing. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but they tried to remove people from society then. That's crazy. That's an untenable position. There's no way that you actually genuinely believe that. That has to be, you have to be so thoroughly propagandized as an individual to believe that. There's just no real way for you to hold that position and not think, hey, that's a little crazy, right? You're going to force people to do something against their will. And now you have people talking about how, oh, if you don't agree with what we say, if you don't go along with what we say, that your life is at stake? Excuse me? You want to run that by me again? You know, I really wanted this channel to be apolitical. And the truth is, it is. It is apolitical. My positions are not political. Me praising Sound of Freedom as a film that, you know, shines a light and condemns child trafficking, like that's a normal position to have. That's normal. Okay? That's a normal position. Nobody can tell me, oh, that's crazy. That's just a far right extremist view. Like, what are you talking about? If that's a far right position, what is the left position again? Now I'm just thinking about it, like, you know, the other things I've done on the channel, it's like, remember, I had an anti-endorsement of the Democrat Party. I had an anti-endorsement. I didn't endorse anybody else for this election. I want to make that fundamentally clear. I want to make politics boring again. I want to make it where it just does not have any relevance in our lives to the extent that it does, where it's like this literally life or death thing. I want to get away from that. That's silly stuff. I genuinely want to get away from it. And seeing this happen, it's like, I don't want to have to talk about this stuff, but the thing is, it's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. It's in games, it's in movies. You can't even watch a commercial without being propagandized by these ideas. And remember, I'm just a normal guy from 20 years ago, okay? That's my position on all of this. And so anyone who says that somehow like this guy was like some extremist or something like that, you're just misinformed. You're completely misinformed. Go watch his videos like I did, because I was like, is he actually, like, is he a sexist? Is he a misogynist? Is he a, like, it was all the ists, right? And all the phobes. And watching the videos, like, the guy has the softest demeanor that you could possibly have discussing with people who want you dead. And they killed him. They killed the guy that gave other people a microphone to discuss their ideas. Like, the worst thing you could say about him was maybe he was a little rude sometimes. But like, come on, people, like, let's not be soft here, okay? Like, this is real life. Man. I watched the memorial, pretty much all of it. It was a long, long memorial. It's like 7 hours long. I think that in a way that this was actually a greater thing, because what it really showed to me was just the power of Christ. That's what it showed me. There's no doubt in my mind whatsoever that Jesus Christ is the Lord. Period. I'm not afraid to say that anymore. Yeah, I'm not afraid. I don't care anymore. If you're someone that wants me dead for saying that, like, God bless you. God bless your heart, because you're missing out. Gotta turn to Jesus. Everybody's gotta turn to Jesus, man. I mean, to see her, literally, I mean, 10 days after this happened, and see her give that speech and actually forgive the guy for doing that. It's really making me think about my choices in my life. And I want to be a better person. Yeah. Because I don't think anything else really matters now. I don't think this channel I mean, obviously I still want to do gaming stuff. Because again, this stuff it's taxing on the mind. Everyone kind of knows that this whole topic is pretty taxing, but it's important right now. And my goal is to we need to get back to a common understanding that we just don't want to kill other people. And I don't want to hear anybody saying, oh, it's both sides. I don't want to hear that crap. After what I went through in 2021, when that vaccine mandate went through, that was not the vibe that I was getting. That was not the vibe. The vibe was comply or die. That was the vibe. So I don't want to hear this whole like, oh, like it's both sides and trying to like appease people. No. One side has to apologize. That's for sure. That is for darn sure. I'm going to use my Christian Minecraft server words. So I think that's really what needs to happen. We just need to turn to Jesus, man. Bottom line, I'm so glad that was what that was at the end of the day, that it was about Jesus. And seeing all of our representatives there praising God and praising Jesus and pointing to Jesus as the way, that to me, that really spoke to me. Because it's like, man, if they can take those positions, I have to take those positions, man. Because they're not afraid to do it. Everyone's been so afraid of what the left was going to do. And here's the thing. They did it. They did the thing that everyone was afraid. They did it last year. They tried to do it last year. Twice. Right? But now that it happened, I think a lot of people are they're more alive now than they were before. Before they were kind of just going along with the flow, trying to keep their head down, try not to talk about it. And basically the left had a monopoly on conversation. They had a monopoly. They could talk about politics all day long, but you couldn't say a thing because they were going to hold it against you in your job. They're going to try to get you fired. They're going to try to do all these things, right? And I've really just kind of been realizing it's like, man, this is not 1980s Democrats versus Republicans, but everybody really still just believes in America. That is not what we have right now. That ain't it. We have a Marxist left, like far left extremism that is overwhelming the entire left. And again, I don't subscribe to either side. I don't subscribe to that. But even I can see that. I've thought about starting a separate channel kind of exclusively for this kind of stuff because I don't really want to cross the streams and confuse the algorithm in the process, especially if it's going to be a different format. That's the thing. If it's a different format, it might be more acceptable if it's on a different channel, so that way there's not the same expectations. Because I still want to do gaming stuff. That's what I'd rather be doing. I would rather be talking about that. I'd rather be making videos about that, you know? But instead, I'm talking about how the world has gone insane. And I think more and more people need to talk about it because it's pretty evident that there was no conversation that happened between the shooter and Charlie Kirk. There was no conversation that happened there. There should have been. There should have been a conversation because Charlie was open to that. Charlie was open to giving people a microphone that disagreed with him. But the shooter, all he was willing to do was give bullets. What an idiot. Also heard that dude was into furry porn. That really makes sense. What a piece of crap. The other thing I was going to address was the fact that he actually put the 500 kg call-in Helldivers 2, the stratagem, on one of the bullet casings, round casings, right? That really irked me because now it's going to be like, oh, all the video gamers are responsible for this. It's like, nope, just that dude. Just the dude playing furry in VR chat. Yeah, that really took the wind out of my sails to make a Helldivers 2 video because I had it in the works for a while, but I just never really felt right about it, especially with the way the developers are handling the game, because it's like I don't really feel like playing the game anymore. It got really, really, really buggy. No pun intended. Way buggier than when the game launched. I was kind of shocked. I played through the Illuminate event that happened, you know, invading Super Earth and everything, and I just like, it was okay. It's just like, it was weird seeing enemies phase through walls, and like didn't really seem like the AI was really set up right, and yeah, there's just a lot of things about it that I was like, man, this isn't really that fun to play against this. Like, I don't know what the strategy is here, and it's like you're not really able to beat it effectively, you know. But I don't know, man. These are some dark times and also some light times. There's a lot of people turning to Christ, which is great to see. A lot of people going to church. A lot of people making a choice to follow Jesus. I think you should too. And this is actually really therapeutic. I should do this more often. I really like making YouTube videos. I kind of realized, like, I kind of got a little burned out because I was like just trying desperately to keep up the whole like release it weekly thing, and that just wasn't working for me because I was just releasing video. It wasn't really great video. Not that I was really trying, honestly. I'm kind of shocked that I got anyone to subscribe. I think those videos are awful, so bad, but yeah, I thought it was still fun to record stuff and do some stuff there. But yeah, I might re-record this just because it's so unorganized. There's just so many different ideas. It's very rambly, kind of like Trump at the memorial. I don't know what he was he was doing. I want to make more videos, and I'm gonna kind of formalize this kind of setup too. I really do think that we are all Charlie Kirk now, because he really did lead a better life than me. But yeah, that's it, everybody. Thank you for watching. And remember, God made you special, and he loves you very much, even when you take someone else's life. Goodbye.